Hello and welcome back to Too Lazy to Read, where we read the uncomfortable things properly. Let's begin with a claim. According to this book, you do not smoke because you are weak. You smoke because you are trapped. Not spiritually trapped, not poetically trapped, not trapped in the sense that Victorian novelists like to make everyone trapped in velvet rooms with tragic curtains. No. Allen Carr means trapped in a far more stupid and irritating way. You are stuck in a loop, a little chemical loop, wrapped in a very big mental lie. And the promise of this book, the bold, cheeky, almost insulting promise, is that if you understand the lie, stopping becomes easy, not heroic, not miserable, not a grand war against your own soul, just easy.
Which, to be fair, is exactly the sort of sentence that makes a smoker narrow their eyes and say, "Oh, sod off."
Indeed, because smokers have heard every speech already. Smoking is bad for you. It costs money. It smells dreadful. It stains your fingers. It ruins your lungs. It ruins the curtains. It ruins your social dignity. It leaves you standing outside in the rain with 3 other people pretending this is somehow a moment of peace. Smokers know all that. Allen Carr's starting point is that none of those speeches work. If fear of illness were enough, smokers would stop the moment they saw the packet. If shame worked, nobody would ever light a second cigarette. If simple logic worked, this book would be 3 pages long, and one of them would just say, "Please stop buying little tubes of expensive misery." But it isn't that simple, and Carr knows it. So he begins somewhere far cleverer. He begins with fear. Not fear of cancer, but fear of stopping. Because that, he says, is the real engine of the whole thing. Not the cigarette itself, not even nicotine on its own, but the fear that life without cigarettes will be worse, duller, tenser, less comforting, less manageable, less you. And that is the first great trick the book tries to destroy.
Because that's the lie most smokers actually live with, isn't it? Not "I love smoking." Not really. More like, "I don't know how I'd be without it."
Exactly. Carr's argument is not that smokers are fools. It is that smokers have been fooled, repeatedly, socially, psychologically, chemically, quietly, for so long that the trap begins to feel like personality. And the book's great mission is to separate those two things, to say, this is not your character, this is not your essence, this is not some tragic little flaw written into your stars. This is an addiction wrapped in a story. Now, Carr has a rather clever opening move. He tells you not to stop smoking while reading the book, which is such a strange instruction that it immediately gets your attention. He does not say, "Throw the cigarettes away right now." He says, "Keep smoking. Smoke while reading. Take your time. Follow the logic first." And what he is doing there is psychologically very shrewd. He is trying to remove panic from the room, because the second a smoker thinks, this is the moment they take my cigarettes away, the walls go up. The mind stops listening. The addiction becomes a tiny, furious solicitor in your skull, shouting objections every 12 seconds. So Carr says, relax. I'm not taking anything from you yet. Let's first work out what this thing is. And at the center of his method is one brutally simple sentence. Cigarettes do absolutely nothing for you at all. Now that is the sort of sentence that makes smokers want to argue immediately. What do you mean, nothing? It helps me when I'm stressed. It gives me a break. It helps me concentrate. It calms my nerves. It gives me something to do with my hands. It goes well with coffee. It goes well with alcohol. It goes well with misery. It goes well with pretending I am in a French film. Carr says, no, that is the illusion. Every single one of those supposed benefits is false, not exaggerated, not partially true, false. And the whole book is basically him taking every cherished excuse a smoker has ever used and smashing it with a hammer until all that remains is dust, embarrassment, and a growing suspicion that perhaps the cigarette has been taking the absolute piss for years.
That really is the tone of the book, isn't it?